Welcome to Module 10, Overcoming Barriers. The main 3 barriers that my clients have is time, lack of support, and discomfort. So we'll be focusing on these 3 barriers and suggestions of how we can start to overcome them. So time. You might say to yourself, I want to practice, but I don't have enough time. It is so hard with all the demands of modern day life. So it's an important skill to learn how to balance time and priorities through recognising your roles, identifying values, recognising your expectations, and scheduling activity. So what roles do you have in daily life? Parent, sibling, daughter, son, colleague, manager, friend, carer, volunteer? And there are roles within those roles. So for example, as a parent, you're also a nurse, an entertainer, a teacher, a cook, a cleaner, a carer. So identify what's really important to you. We can't do it all. So identifying your priorities will make everything less overwhelming and more manageable. And what are your expectations? Sometimes we hold these expectations without reviewing them. So have a look at your expectations of yourself and of what you can achieve in a day. And maybe these could be adjusted. Maybe they're not realistic or not necessary. Maybe these expectations have been held for a long time, or based on what we were taught when we were younger, or from society's pressures. So scheduling it in. If we don't make time and protect that time, it's unlikely that it will happen. Consider taking a break from social media, where it drives our sense of comparison and social pressures. It also takes up a lot of time. And try and zoom out of a situation. So that's trying to gain a different perspective. Because sometimes when we get overwhelmed, we get so caught up in doing that it's really hard to step back and pause. So using your tools to notice when you're getting caught up, stopping and pausing. And this will naturally build a greater sense of perspective and balance over a situation. Also allow yourself to make adjustments. We tend to like routine and familiarity, but sometimes when we're taking that step back, it's okay to adjust and have flexibility. So another barrier is not having much support or encouragement. This can require some communication skills, learning how to notice and assert your needs, because we can't expect others to mind read. And although sometimes very frustrating, if we're not communicating what we need, then we won't get it. This means that we really need to value our own needs. Knowing how important it is to find balance, to be supported, and to encourage ourselves. We can't rely on maybe our partner or one person to give us all the support we need. Connection and belonging is essential for mental well-being and coping. So if you haven't got a support network, there's lots of ways to develop this. So see if there's any groups in the community, whether that's through an interest you have, like a meditation group or a yoga group, maybe something artistic, or it might be a specific mental health support group. And another barrier is it feels too uncomfortable. When we start stepping out of our comfort zone and changing our responses, we do face that discomfort. And it can really be a barrier in the way of continuing with that progress. So one thing to do is just break it down. When we're feeling uncomfortable, it's because it feels too much at once. So just start off with slow, small, gradual steps. Even if it's just a minute of feeling uncomfortable, that's a really positive step in starting to tolerate and sit with any discomfort that comes up. And remember that all feelings are safe to experience. So this is all about tolerating skills. There's plenty that we've covered in this course, and there's plenty more out there. So continue to learn and develop those tolerating skills, making that a focus if this is a difficulty for you. Another idea is to practice techniques when you're feeling calm. Sometimes people stop practicing because they don't feel like it's effective. However, when we wait until we're feeling highly distressed or anxious, those techniques are going to be hard to put into practice because our limbic system is dominating, and it's hard to remember and pull on these techniques in these times. So we need to practice changing the neurophysiology inside us so that we're developing these new connections so that when we need it, it will come more automatically. It will also feel a bit more manageable. So in summary, manage making time by scheduling, managing expectations, and identifying priorities. Manage pressures of comparison by taking a break from social media, seeing the bigger picture, and making adjustments to old beliefs and expectations. Manage lack of support by learning communication skills in asserting your own needs. And build a support network through community groups and by connecting with supportive friends. Manage discomfort by breaking it down. Practice tolerating skills and practice tools when in a calmer state of mind. This task sheet gives you some guidance about how to address some of these barriers. And obviously it's something that you may want to pursue depending on what your own personal barriers are. If you need any information or links to resources, then please let me know and I can send them to you. So now this module is completed. Next, we're going to be putting it all together.